everybody, I'm back. I hope. Um, yeah, we have two new members of the family. I don't know if I'd said that the last time, but from the same house, not same litter. So this is Zeus. This is Zeus. He's about 6 months old now. We got him when he was 11 weeks old. And this is Apollo. We call him the little shit because he gets into everything. And he was 7 weeks old when we got him. And he's about 4 months old now. So our two new boys. Oh. Yeah. So a little bit of a life update. I can't remember where I was at the last time. I'm hoping to be back full time now, but we'll see. So I know I had said that I was having bad side effects with medication. I'm off those now, and the side effects are still lingering a little bit, but for the most part, they're gone. Thank God. They were brutal. The side effects on those medications were brutal. My back is still bad, but I don't have numb fingers anymore, thank God. But I did something to my elbow. Anyways, so I think I was telling you that we had to make a couple of road trips because my husband got stranded. So that was 3 days of road trips, and then we had to go to North Bay. That was another day trip because of his van and all the stuff that was kind of left over from his sister passing away. So then my daughter got her license. Okay, in Ontario, when I got my license, it was beginners and full license. And now they have this graduated license where you get your beginners, which is a G1, and then you do a road test a year after you get your G1 to get your G2, and that means you can drive by yourself. And then a year later, I think, you can get your full G, which is a general license that you can drive cars, trucks, but not buses, transports, that stuff. So she got her G2, and 3 weeks later, she took out the bumper of my car, the back bumper, because she didn't do her blind spot check, and decided to go over 2 lanes of traffic into the turning lane. Okay, so she had to pay for that, and while we were looking for a secondhand bumper, because I'm not paying $1,000 for a bumper on a 2006 car, she was driving it and she was having problems with it chugging, which it was kind of coming up on the time that one of my sensors was going again. So she brought it into the dealership, and when they checked it over, I knew my exhaust was going, so that was there. My sensor was going, so there's about $1,000 worth of work right there, and my tranny was going that I didn't know about, so there was another $1,000. So I said, I'm not putting another dime into this car, so we bought a new car. 3 weeks after that, she took out the front bumper of this car. She was driving on a really stormy day down a really steep hill, and the brakes, I don't know what they're called, but they have like a little sensor in them that tells you when to ease up on them. So it'll go, so you ease up, and then, I don't know if it's anti-lock brakes or ABS system. I'm not sure. But she decided, no, she didn't decide. She did the smart thing. And she went into a snowbank because she was coming up on a light and there was a car there, red light. So she went into a snowbank, hit a recycling bin, and into a building. She's all right, thank God. But the car, when my husband backed the car out, because it was in a snowbank, the bumper went equal to the hood. So she broke the bracket on my front bumper. So that has to be replaced. Thankfully, the bumper is still on the car. So we told her, that's it. You need your own car. We're done. So 2 cars, 2 accidents in 2 months. Yeah. And then my husband's alternator died on his car, or his van. He needs his van to work. So that happened 2 weeks before Christmas. And on top of that, 3 weeks before that, he fell and hurt his back. So needless to say, this holiday season's been crap for us. We were hoping that 2020 would be better. And on January 1st, the brother of his friend that died a year and a half ago passed away from the same kind of thing. And that was alcohol-induced. He had a seizure, hit his head, and didn't recover. And his friend had died from liver failure and throwing up and breathing in from alcohol. So, yeah, 2020 is not the best right now. So, and I picked up that machine the first week in November. So that was yet another road trip that we had to take. So excuse the mess because we kind of just rearranged the living room here because the big machine was over there. So my productivity could be a little bit better. Anyways, so that's up to speed now. We're actually, my daughter doesn't have her own car yet. It was certified yesterday. And so she should be picking it up. We're just waiting for the phone call to say that everything's finalized. She can pick it up. And then I'll have my car back. Yeah, it's been kind of rough. That's why I haven't really been on. I have been reading. I actually made my goal of 150 books last year. So this year I put it at 152, but are 150 as well. Just to kind of have something there. I know I can do it. It's just I'm getting into a swing of things, and yeah, so that's what's been happening with me. I hope everybody had awesome holidays and Happy New Year. We didn't do anything, obviously. It's kind of like an anniversary for us. We got engaged on New Year's right as the ball dropped, so yeah, but it was the first Christmas without my husband's sister, so it was kind of bittersweet, you know. It was rough. Nothing we can do. Anyways, I'm still going to be doing the Romance Readers Reading Challenge, the Triple RC. And so I'm also going to be doing 2 other things. And I will tell you as we go. So the first one is Happy January Birthday. Read a book published in January, or read a book with red on the cover in honor of January's birthstone, the Garnet. So yeah, I went with One Night, Two Airs by Maureen Child. I might do a different one down here. But this is A Cowboy for Every Mood, Texas, Cattleman's Club, The Showdown. I haven't read those. So like I said, I don't know if I'll be reading this one. Well, I'll try and read this one. If not, I will read a different Harlequin for that. And as usual, I'm going to be putting stuff on the ground. So, challenge 2 is Flower of the Month Carnation. The carnation symbolizes hope, rebirth, and gratitude. I'm hoping for that this year. Read a book with a hopeful or uplifting theme, or a book where someone is starting a new life or remaking themselves in some way, or a book by a favorite author, one you're grateful for. And I just found out a couple of days ago that my favorite author has passed away. And she passed away in October. I had no idea, from lung cancer. But I'm so grateful for her because it was her books that got me really started on historical romance. I just love the way she wrote. And her books were like, they're the cheesy bodice rippers, but I still love them anyways. And it's Joanna Lindsay, A Heart So Wild. So this is, I think it's just one of her standalones. I don't think it's one of her series. But I just, I felt like reading it. And then challenge 3 is Featured Author Challenge, and it's Tessa Bailey. Read a book written by Tessa Bailey or any author with her first or last name. And then there's a whole bunch of other things, like info about Tessa. And it says you may also read a book set in California or New York, or by an author who is from California or New York. You can also read any book shelved as contemporary romance or chick lit, or a book that includes a character involved in the hospitality industry, and I went with Tessa Dare. So it's Romancing the Duke, and it's the first book in the Castles Ever After series. Historical. I seem to fly through these. I love them. And that's thanks to Joanna Lindsay. So there's that. And then book 5, or challenge 5, is January 6th Cuddle Up Day. Read a book that would be perfect to cuddle up with in front of a fire or a snowy afternoon, or that would be a perfect beach read if you're in the southern hemisphere or other warm climate. And that's this one. I had them in the wrong order. That is Debbie McComer's A Good Yarn. This is book 2 in the Blossom Street series. And it's just a bunch of friends, kind of like with knitting, crochet. It's friends in a bookstore, yarn shop, I think. And they have like a little group, and it's just like their lives. So I think that's the one. No, did I miss something? I did. Challenge 4. January 1st, New Year's Day. Start the new year off right by reading a book by a new to you author or the first book in the new to you series. So this is for challenge 5. And challenge 4, sorry, elbow issues. I'm going to be reading All the Way by Kristen Proby. Oh, you can't see that. I've never read anything by her, and I'm hoping to, obviously get to it. Let's see if I can get this to, there we go. So while I'm doing that, challenge 6 is January 8th, Male Watchers Day. Read a book with a hot guy on the cover. And that one I'm just trying to get up. Now, what happened to it? There we go. So I am reading Vonnie Davis, A Highlander's Obsession, and you can't really see his face, but he's got a really nice body. So it's a romance. It's about, like, I'm reading it now. It is about a woman and her grandmother who go to Scotland because her great uncle has passed away and she's in the will. And as they're coming, she's a veterinary assistant who can talk to animals, essentially. And so it helps her, like, veterinarians from all over the country call her in when they have hard cases. And so as they're driving up to the castle where they're going to be staying for the duration of the funeral and that, she's sensing these animals and she's talking to them. And when she gets to the castle, she meets the laird and faints because she can hear his thoughts, and he's human. It's the first human she's ever been able to hear his thoughts. They're shift changers. They change into bears. So yeah, it's a shifter novel. So of course, she's engaged to an asshole in where are they living? New England, Connecticut, something like that, I think. He just is trying to get as much money of her as he can. Deal. So of course, love ensues. Anyways, because I haven't said anything about the other books. That is 6. So challenge 7, January 14th, dress up your pet day. Read a book with an animal in the story or on the cover. Shifters count. But I'm going with, I think this is book 5. Excuse me. Murder, She Meowed, Mrs. Murphy mystery, and it's by Rita Mae Brown and Sneaky Pie Brown. And there's a cat and a corgi that talk to each other, and there's other cats and animals, and it's hilarious. It's a cozy mystery. I love them. So there's that. Pebbles. So challenge 8. Sorry, I'm waiting for a delivery. Measure Your Feet Day, January 23rd. Read a book with feet or hands or paws visible on the cover. And this is book 3 in the Jared's Dynasty, and it's by Kathy Donosky, and it's Expecting the Rancher's Heir, and there are hands on there. Pretty much any of them have hands. Challenge 9 is January 26th, Australia Day. Read a book set in Australia, and I feel so bad for all the wildfires that are going on down there right now. Or with an Australian author or characters, or you can read a book with green and or gold on the cover. And I chose The Dry by Jane Harper. She's an Australian author. I think it takes place in Australia, and there's gold on the cover. I've been hearing really good things about Jane Harper, so I decided to try it out, and I've heard this one is really good. And last, always, is Reader's Choice. Read any book of your choice. So this year, I've been wanting to do this for 2 years now. So this year, what I'm doing, for the random book, I am going through all the books that I want to read on my TBR on Goodreads and doing a random number generator. So I have to do this before the videos because I have to be able to either get it from the library or my bookshelves. This one I had to get from the library because I only have one book by him, and it's like way in the, and I know you don't have to read all these books in order, but I'm choosing to, and I'm choosing to the way Goodreads has said this is book 1. So it's Terry Pratchett, The Color of Magic. I don't know if this is technically book 1. Goodreads says it is, so I'm going with it. I know it's kind of wacky humor. I'm in for that. So there's that one. And the other thing that I've been wanting to do for 2 years is here in Canada, it's Chapters is the main bookstore. So you can get points. Whenever you purchase a book or anything from their website, you get points. And if you're a card holder, you can also do recommendations online up to 10 a day. So if you tell them what you want to see books about, and you can choose up to 10 a day, whether you like them, you don't like them, or you already own them. I would show you, but it's kind of hard. I might show you next month when everything is calmed down. So I've been wanting to read this book, and I'm only going to do one a month. I can do 10 a day. I can't read 10 books a day. So I'm just going to do one a month that are on that list. But the points, you can redeem them for money off. You get so many points, you get $20 that you can redeem. And, 5, 10, 20, 50, and I'm working towards 100, which I need 50,000 points, I think, and I'm up to 12,000 right now. So it'll be a little while, but yeah. So I'm reading Robin by Dave Itzkoff. It's Robin Williams' biography, and it came out after his death, so it's pretty much his life. I grew up watching Mork and Mindy, loved him in Mrs. Doubtfire, loved him in Dead Poets Society, and what else did I had never seen Good Will Hunting. I've never seen The Fisher King. Awakenings was another really good one. So yeah, I've always been interested in his life. So right now I'm just taking it 1 or 2 chapters a day because, it's quite dense. So right now we're just up to him getting the Mork and Mindy show, and yeah, so he had just gotten married. They didn't really do too much about his early life, except for the fact that he has 2 half brothers, but they're from previous marriages, so they were not in the household. He was pretty much brought up by the staff of the household because his mom's a socialite, his dad was an executive at or a high muckety muck at Ford Motor Company. So yeah, and they lived Detroit, and then they moved around a bit, but once they got to California, that was his last year of high school, and then he went to college there, and then he went to Juilliard for a bit, and then now he's back in California doing Mork and Mindy. So interesting. Sorry. So the other one that I wanted to get to, just random book, is Bella Andre, Can't Help Falling in Love, and this is book 2 in the Sullivans series. These are quick reads. These are steamy reads. Yeah, so I wanted to read this before, and I had to bring it back because I never got to it. And that is my life update, my January TBR, and hoping to be back on a regular basis. We'll see. This is the first chance I've gotten to film this month. So, because my husband's working today, kids are all in school, got a nice quiet house. I have to get to work, but I have to move things around first and then see how my elbow is. So, I hope everybody had a wonderful holidays, like I said, and let me know if you've read any of these books. I'm looking forward to comments again, getting back into the swing of things. Yeah, I was also thinking of doing reading vlogs. I don't know how those are going to go. We'll see. If you want to see vlogs from me, let me know in the comments below. And thank you for watching. I hope you will have an awesome day, and I will talk to you later.